Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights. Another card wall episode starting with Daryl Sittler up through Lee Smith. Daryl Sittler, hockey player, obviously, I don't think he's going to make it in the long run. I got to have Gretzky, you got to have Lemieux, got to have Crosby, got to have Ovechkin and Patrick Waugh, and too many to name. But Daryl Sittler's not in that first group of the top 10, but a good player nonetheless, and he's been on there for a little while. Thanks, sponsors. Appreciate their support. Enos Slaughter, this is one of the tougher cards that I have. Happy to have it in any shape. It's a Hunter's Wieners, the bottom of a hot dog wrapper in the St. Louis area. The Cardinals. I'd love to have Musial, but I've never really had the opportunity. And even if I would have had the opportunity, it would have been very expensive at the time. At any time, it would always be a very tough card, especially if it was in better shape than this one. So I'll keep this just because I like the coloring. There's a little bit of a color match when you got the St. Louis Cardinals and the red color. Enos Slaughter, I think of him as a Cardinal, not as KC or New York Yankees. 48 autographed. This is the second toughest card of him, the W554. It's a team issue. Picked up a set of those, I don't know when. I got it at a show, just bought it because I couldn't buy the type card because it was in the set. He wouldn't sell me one card, so I bought the set. And Slaughter, probably the best card in the set. Bruce Smith, remember the Cowboys went against him, and I'm a Cowboy fan more. Jerry Sloan, this is the card Adam Gray and I talked about. He being a Utah Jazz fan through and through, but I was not willing to trade it to him because it's the only one I have. But if I were going to do that, he would be a great home to give it to somebody that's as passionate as Adam is. Bubba Smith, I enjoyed watching him in college and pros and movies. Devontae Smith, this is a guy that's about my size. And in my prime, I could not do what he did. He is an amazing athlete, an amazing receiver. And I hate that he's on the Eagles, but this is a downtown. I got it out of a pack. Thank you, Panini. And I promised I'd put it up on my wall. And it'll stay there for a long time. This is laughably a $1,500 phone card of Emmett Smith. And so that's not a joke because people did do that stuff back in the day. But thanks, sponsors. In case I didn't, thank you, sponsors. This I got in Hawaii. One of the perks of going to some of the industry events, frequently you get swag, and swag within the hobby. They're special cards that are very limited and were only distributed at the event. So that's one. Collector's Edge did some pretty creative designs as well. I think they ran out of gas, they ran out of money, but they were doing some interesting things. This was an interesting design. Finally, this is probably the card I will use. It's his pre-rookie from when he was at Florida. I remember when he was in high school, I had a close friend that was in Pensacola and just said, "You're not going to believe this Emmett Smith guy. He's not the fastest, he's not the biggest, but his sense, his balance, his ability to hit the hole." And they actually talked about his ability to not be injured. He never took horrible hits, I don't think. Jackie Smith, probably not going to make it, but he was, I think, one of the first catch-first tight ends. A little bit bigger, but a very reliable target. Joe Smith, a number 1 overall pick, but not going to make it. This is superior. And then Lee Smith, nothing against, actually I do have a little bit against relievers. When I was playing Sandlot, when I was a little kid, we didn't have relief pitchers. We didn't have pinch runners. We didn't have pinch hitters. We didn't have DHs. You just went up and everybody did everything. You learned how to play all the different positions. The more limited players now, relievers who don't see that many batters, even though they're really great at what they do, and DHs that either can't or won't or don't want to field. So Lee Smith was fabulous, but I would have made him wait. He was a feared reliever, but I don't think he's going to make my wall because of that. Thanks, everybody, and apologies to Lee Smith.